But now listen. Now he's happy where he is because he know he got Ime coming. And I'll say this about Ime, right? Think about this, and we all talked about how great of a coach he was. I would say when you start to look at the NBA in recent years, when's the last time that you actually seen an NBA team be successful because of their coach? And I would say that the Celtics have been the only team that have been able to do that, where you go, the reason why, I mean, they have good players, don't get me wrong, but the reason why they were able to get where they got was basically largely in part because of their head coach.
Isn't that because of Popovich? We heard that with the Spurs forever.
Yeah, but I still think, you had Tim Duncan, you had
Celtics have Tatum and Brown,
David Robinson, but they weren't at the Tatum and Brown.
They didn't win their last title. They didn't have Duncan. They had Kawhi Leonard.
No. But what I'm saying is, initially, Tatum and Brown are not at the level of where Duncan was in his career.
You are so right when it comes to Mazzulla, though, because you look at Mazzulla, and the pressure that is on him to succeed this year, because it's the same team, only you've added Malcolm Brogdon, who has shown out so far. And that's what I'm saying.
It's been a really good ad.
It's been a great ad, but at the same time, it's
I love Greg Wick.
if they don't make it far in the playoffs, everyone's going to put that on Mazzulla.
Right.
But what we're talking about here, and why Wiggy is prescient in these thoughts, is that it's not as though it was an X's and O's situation with Ime. He allowed and, quote, unlocked Jalen and Jason to get on the same page, told Marcus to stop taking all the spotlight and complaining, just defend, and he won Defensive Player of the Year, and they got to within 2 wins of a title. What Ime is going to do, if successful in Brooklyn, has very little to do with in-game adjustment.
Right. No, it's not that he's a great coach. It's that you're a caddy for these guys.
Right, and so, but the caddy was very successful last year, and this year, if he's able to do that, if Durant can get one more good year, because Durant needs another good year in order to prove that it wasn't just the Warriors that elevated him. If he's able to do that with Kyrie, another guy that's getting ripped left and right, then the team is incredibly dangerous, and it's a possibility that was never going to be on the table if the Celtics didn't hand them Ime. It just doesn't make any sense.
This is Bob from Andover. Bob, what's up?
Within 2 wins of the title.
Bob, turn your radio down.
That guy sounds like an
Curtis,
idiot.
you sound amazing.
I know.
You do. You sound good.
I was born that way.
See if Bob turned his radio down yet.
Yeah, it sounded like he
Bob,
turned
you
it down.
there?
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
That's a great show. I listen to you guys all the time. I drive a truck to Connecticut 400 miles, so I get very entertained. But I'm a little disturbed about, especially with Wiggy and Curtis. Nobody's thinking about these women. Nobody knows what happened to these women. So
what do you think happened to these women, Bob?
I don't know, and neither do you.
Right. Well, is he under investigation by law enforcement?
So you know what? Why don't you wait and decide that? You're selling your soul. What if it was all these owners have wives and daughters and stuff? What are you're gonna sell? You're gonna sell your soul? Not even give a crap about these women that might have been endangered or might have been abused?
Well, see now, Bob, you're going in a different direction. If that was the case, you think Brooklyn is going to hire a guy that's going to be investigated for sexual assault or sexual misconduct or whatever?
I don't know. You can't really go with that. Deshaun Watson got a massive deal in the middle of an investigation. So
right, but that's a civil case. That was a civil case.
I don't think the word sexual assault is ever the phrase is. I think it's more like a workplace harassment thing. Is what is a suspicion that there is involved.
Okay, so you have to ask yourself the question based on what we know right now that Brooklyn,
which is nothing.
Well, no, that Brooklyn is going to potentially hire this guy.
Right, I understand. It's not that bad because Brooklyn, whatever he did was not so bad.
It wasn't so bad.
Brooklyn is willing to sell that, but maybe Brooklyn is selling their soul to hire him because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving run the show.
And even when you bring up the Deshaun Watson case, right? It wasn't that bad to the Browns, and it wasn't that bad to the NFL because they only suspended him for 11 games.
But that's nothing new. If you asked 10 women on the street right now if Deshaun Watson's situation was bad, I would say 9.5 out of 10 would say yes.
But when we're talking about how the league views
I know, so that's why I'm not surprised that even if something more were to come out about Ime, and I'm not saying that it will, if something more were to come out and the Nets knew about it and still hired him, that wouldn't shock me.
This is Kevin from Quincy. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Wiggy, I wouldn't say that Ime Udoka was the sole reason that they made it to the championship. I mean, didn't Brad Stevens make 3 Eastern Conference Finals and took one team to a Game 7? The Celtics actually got some luck last year with injuries for their opposition. I mean, but the reason I called was to say what Ime Udoka did must have not been that egregious if another team's willing to scoop him up, no problem, just weeks after it got, blown.
We lost you, but
The other thing here is, do you think Adam Silver knows what happened with the Celtics?
yeah.
I would hope so.
If the truck driver that just called in, and I love you, Bob, listen every day, if there was something where there was, serious cause for an investigation in terms of assault or anything of the like, there's no way he's coaching the Nets today.
Right. They do what the NFL did to Deshaun Watson. They put him on pause. They put him on ice, investigate it, see what they had to do, and then make their decision. And Curtis is right on that. Bob took it in a different direction.
This is Eric from Lubbock, Texas. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, hey guys. Thanks for taking my call down here in Lubbock. You guys always make my morning, so I appreciate it.
Awesome, thank you.
It's painful and difficult to say that I'm on the Wiggy and Curtis train here. When I heard the news yesterday about the Nets letting Nash go and hiring Ime, I was like, ooh, that's not good for us. And then when I saw we weren't going to get anything for him, I'm like, that's just ludicrous. I mean, it's supply and demand. We have a valued coach that wants out, that we want out, and we're not going to get back draft picks for him, which is all we can get. We can't even get players. So we're going to basically give him to the Nets, our biggest rival, with a team that's full of talent, but also a bunch of knuckleheads. And we're going to let him put that together like he did for us last year, maybe get him to play a little defense, maybe get Ben Simmons out of his head. And we're going to be looking at them across the court in a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Championships, and we're going to say we gave him away for nothing. That is absolutely insane. It separates between what he did, yes, we don't know. But at the end of the day, if we're going to let him go, you got to get something back for him. You can't just give him away.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's great points. I mean, it's odd.
In Lubbock, Texas. I mean,
that's why I'm looking for it now. I wish, whether it's Twitch or text line, I want to know what the Celtics actually got for Doc and then what that turned into. Because, those are the things that you have to look at in a trade for Ime. If you get an unprotected first-round draft pick.